Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today we will learn to use the select command in SQL. Select command is used for data extraction from SQL Server databases, and it is the most important SQL command. We are using SQL Server Express and SQL Server Management Studio. Both are free and can be downloaded from Microsoft website. In this server, we already have a database, which currently does not have any tables. We can create a table through a Create Table query. Although the database is already selected, which can be seen next to the Execute button, but still it is recommended to tell which database we are going to use before each query to avoid query execution on wrong database. Now the query will be executed in the database given and use command. Let's execute this query to create this table. Our table has now been created, which we can view using a select command. This command will select everything from the table because rows and columns are not limited. This is our table, which has no data yet. Refresh the Tables folder in your database to view the updated list of tables and their columns. To insert data into this table, we can use the Insert command. Let's insert some random data for practice. Our data has been entered into the table, and now we can again use the Select command to view the table. Again, let's use the Select All to display all data from this table. $sign in our query means all rows and all columns. As you can see, we now have 7 rows of data in our table. So this $sign or asterisk is a wildcard, which means all. And here it means all rows and all columns. It can be used if table is small, such as this one, but normally it is avoided due to performance issues. Normally, we limit our results in Select command, both in columns and rows. Instead of selecting all columns, we can provide the names of specific columns to avoid unnecessary load on server. So here we have selected 3 columns only. We can also use distinct in our select query to limit the number of rows. Here we are going to select only distinct values from department column. This will give us unique values instead of repetitive results. We can also use where clause to limit the number of rows. If we select first name and last name from employees table without any where clause, it gives us 7 results. But if we use where clause to select only those employees which are in the IT department, it gives us only 3 results. We can use multiple conditions in where clause. So let's also select employees having salary less than 90K. And now all records will be omitted where salary is 90K or above. We have now 1 less record due to salary condition. In addition to filtering data, we can also sort data. We can use order by to sort data either in ascending or descending order. Descending means highest to lowest, and ascending means lowest to highest. This will sort all of our data in descending order based on salary field. And now in ascending order based on same salary field. Let's sort our data based on hire date, first in ascending order, and then in descending order. We can also use multiple conditions with order by. Simply put a comma and define another condition. Now, results will be sorted based on priority. First condition will have top priority, then the next one, and so on. Since there is not much data to show the difference, let's sort the data by last name instead of salary. And now we can see that the data is sorted by hire date first in descending order, and then by last name. We can also use aggregate functions such as count, sum, average, etc. to aggregate the data. This will count all rows of our table. This query will return the sum of salary column. And now it will return the sum of salary column, where department is IT, and this way we can use conditions with aggregation as well. And this will tell us the average salary of people in IT department. And in the same way, we can get the maximum and minimum salary as well. We can get the aggregate of one column grouped by another column using the group by clause. We often provide a name for aggregate column using as keyword. This is called alias, like average salary. And now we must use group by, since we have aggregated a column. And there is another column which is not being aggregated. This will give us average salary of each department. We can use multiple columns in group by clause, and information will split based on these group by clauses. We must add all non-aggregate columns to the group by clause. And as you can see, since there were inactive members in sales, the data is split into two for sales. We can add as many columns as we want in group by, and we can also add calculated columns such as hire year when we have hire date column. This will further split the existing information based on year of hiring. And as you can see, now every department is split into two, because there are at least 2 years of hiring involved in each department. And not just group by, you can also add as many aggregate columns as you want. For example, let's add a count column. We can use reserved words in SQL by writing them inside square brackets. Now you have number of rows against each group by field as well. To filter data by aggregated column, you can using having clause, since you cannot use aggregated column with where clause. Now this will display only those records where number of rows are more than 2. And if we use less than sign, we will get the opposite. We can use top keyword to display any number of top records we want. We can get both top and bottom records using the same top keyword, simply using the order by which we'll change the results based on ascending or descending order defined. So when data is sorted by salary in ascending order, top 3 results have the lowest salaries. And in descending order, they were the highest. And with this, we end our tutorial. Have fun with your SQL learning. See you soon with another interesting topic.